A rectangular prism has a surface area of 232 square centimeters. That's good to know. As you keep reading, you're going to realize how wordy this one is. And so I think when something's wordy, you need to just kind of take a step back and just go in stages. So let's do it. I do have a rectangular prism. Surface area is 232. Hold that thought. Its length is 2 centimeters longer than its width. Its height is 1/4 of its width. What are the dimensions of this prism? Okay, final answer is going to be the dimensions of this prism. We're going to come over here and be like, well, the width is this, and the length is this, and the height is this. Okay, that's the final answer. Don't know that yet. What is super confusing is they're like 2 centimeters longer than the width, and blah, 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 blah. Confusing. Stop. This is the width. This is the length. This is the height. If you turn those around, not a huge deal. Let's keep reading. Its length is 2 centimeters longer than its width. Oh, its length is 2 centimeters longer than its width. So it's the width plus 2, or 2 plus W, either way. And its height is 1/4 of its width. So we have this really fortunate situation now where length, width, and height are all in terms of W. Ooh, lucky us. Okay, I could jump into this and we could just go crazy with it, but I'm not. Let's stop for a second and let's do this. The surface area is equal to, all right, we're gonna have the bottom. Notice the piece that I'm outlining here. We're gonna have the bottom, which would be width times length, but we're gonna have 2 of those, okay? Hold that thought on the 2. And then we're gonna have this side. That's the right side. That's going to be the length times the height. We're going to have 2 of those because there's a left side and a right side. I just pointed at the wrong ones when I said that, but we're going to have a right side and a left side, just like we had a top and a bottom. That's going to be length times height. And then we're going to have a front and a back, and the front is W times H, and the back, of course, is the same. So all of these are doubled. So if all this wordiness is a little overwhelming and all this is overwhelming, start here and go from there. What's the surface area? They told you. And then we will write everything else. W is W. Okay? Length is W plus 2. Length is W plus 2. Height is 1/4 W. W is W. Height is 1/4 W. It looks overwhelming, and there's a lot of simplifying we could do, and it's easy to get lost in the parentheses here. Just be careful. But basically, what we're going to be doing is finding out what W is. We could simplify, distribute, and multiply. It'd be fun. Let's not. Here's what I want to do. You can graph it in Desmos. I'm going to graph it on a calculator. I'm going to type y equals this whole side, which is just 232, which is going to be a horizontal line at 232. And we're going to type y equals this side, and it's going to be all that. It's going to be a little bit hard to type, and we can mess up if we're not careful, so yeah, be careful. But when I type it, I'm going to use x instead of w, and so should you. So we're going to use x's here. So y equals this side, y equals this side. I'm ready to go. I've pressed y equals, so y equals 232. Done. And then the other one, and then I'm just going to go as fast as I can in typing it. And then a 4th W, and then plus W, and then 1/4 W, and then we'll close those parentheses. Whoops, whoops, whoops. I left an X off. That's going to change everything. That'd be tragic. Start this whole video over. Okay, making sure I have all my parentheses one more time. One more again. Yep, I do. Okay, if I want to graph this on a standard window, it would look like this. Don't worry about the buttons I just pressed. You can use Desmos. If you do carry, I'll press Zoom and then 6. It's Zoom standard. And here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for where the graph of this, which I'm looking at, and this graph intersect. Well, this graph is at 232. That's pretty dang up there. So you're going to need to zoom around on Desmos. I'm going to adjust my window to go from 0 to, let's go 15. And I'm going to press Zoom and 0, which is Zoom Fit. You don't have to know all those buttons. I'm just going through it on the calculator. And when I get my graph, mine looks like this. And what I really need, and you can just click on yours, but what I really need is that point of intersection right there. Actually, more specifically, I need that X coordinate. I know the Y coordinate. It's 232, right? I mean, this is 232. So I'm going to find it. Second, calc, intersect, enter 8. There it is. 8 comma 232. So now I know that the width that works for this whole thing is 8. Oh, that's good to know. Final answer over here in red. The width is 8 centimeters. Okay, good, good. The length is, the lights just went out. The length is width plus 2. So writing way too much, 8 plus 2. So 10 centimeters. Go ahead and jump to 10 if you want to. And the height is 1/4 of 8, which would be 2 centimeters. Find the surface area of that. I promise you, it's 232.